was reading over Genesis chapter 18, and something struck me here. Genesis 18, verses 24 and 26 read, "Then Abraham approached him and said, 'Will you sweep away the righteous with the wicked? What if there are 50 righteous people in that city? Will you really sweep it away and not spare the place for the sake of 50 righteous people?' And then the Lord said, 'If 50 righteous people are in that city of Sodom, I will spare that place for their sake.'" You know, it got me thinking, well, what if you could ask God for anything? What would it be? You know, so often our prayer life is focused on me. Lord, help me through this situation. Help me through this problem. My need, my hurt, my want. Now, don't get me wrong. That is an important part of prayer, because in the Lord's Prayer it says, "Give us this day our daily bread." But prayer is also giving things to God and asking things to work out in our lives. But if that's all there is, then we're missing out on a huge part of prayer. Praying on behalf of someone else is part of prayer also, and it's called intercessory prayer. Some churches have a huge intercessory prayer ministry, and it's just simply praying on behalf of someone else, both inside and outside their church community. It can be for an individual or an upcoming event or a specific group. It could be for a particular part of government. It could anything. This kind of prayer is incredibly important for any church or any ministry to stay connected to God and to express the love of God for others. The problem, however, is that too often our prayer ministries are more concerned with keeping sick believers out of heaven than keeping unbelievers out of hell. You know, Abraham wasn't afraid to be bold, and he goes before God 6 times and asks God for mercy on behalf of Sodom and Gomorrah. And God answered, 50, 30, it goes finally down to 10 people. Ultimately, the city wasn't saved, but don't miss the key point. God responded to Abraham's bold prayer on behalf of the people that Abraham didn't even know and probably had never even met. Turn on the news. I want to challenge you. Turn on the news or pick up a newspaper. What bold prayer could you pray for your community or your city or your neighbors or your nation? You may not even know the names or individual stories, but could you boldly ask the one who knows the situation? Because one of the most selfless things you could do is ask God for mercy and blessing on the lives of others. The question is, are you willing to do that for another person? Can you do it? And will you do it?